Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Marquez. How would you like to live a life that's so impactful that your relatives are still speaking of you generations from now? How do you measure success? Of course, success is measured in many different ways, depending on the person. I, for example, measure success based on the impact that you leave in the world around you and how you changed it for the better. If we're going to go by these standards, my grandparents, Cesario and Mary Villegas, have definitely lived a successful life, to say the very least. Their life together has definitely been an adventure, whether it's been overcoming many obstacles, having an open home, or giving back to the community in more ways than one. Long after they've been gone, their impact still shines on the earth through the messages they've left for us, the people they've touched, and the souls they've inspired. One of the obstacles they overcame was being together in the first place. Mary was actually born here in the United States of America, but as a baby went back to Mexico with her family when jobs here got rough. When she was 18 years old, she came back with her younger brother and stayed with distant relatives to help out in the watermelon fields. Cesario came from Mexico as an immigrant to America a couple years before she did. When Mary first met Cesario in the watermelon fields, she spoke of love at first sight, and she knew at that instant he was the one she was going to marry. Unfortunately, the relatives that she stayed with were very abusive, both physically and mentally, and when they found out that she was dating Cesario, the abuse got worse. Her life could have been a lot easier if she just broke up with him, but she loved him too much, and the love prevailed, and they ended up getting married, and they stayed married for 50 plus years, and they had 7 kids together. They had an open home, and everybody was family. One of Cesario's brothers took a son away from his then wife and brought them to live with Cesario and Mary. Since he was so young, Cesario and Mary took him in as one of their own. Mary even went as far as breastfeeding him since she had a son at home who was very close to him in age. They also raised countless nieces and nephews who came from broken homes and had, not the home life that they wanted. So they served as their sanctuary and their shelter for many of them. Cesario eventually took over the empire of the watermelon um, fields and turned it into a potato empire and started harvesting potatoes throughout this whole area in the Inland Empire. With that empire, that company, he helped many immigrants by giving them jobs and giving them resources to become citizens of the USA. They also supported African Americans during the whole civil rights movement by giving them jobs, giving them shelter, and giving them resources and that sanctuary. They were very faithful to their faith, to the church, and they gave back to the community and the church community. When the Catholic Church here in Paris needed renovation, Cesario and Mary donated so much. They fundraised, they helped renovate with their own 2 hands, they donated many materials. They also brought a picture of the Virgin Mary from Mexico and donated it, and that picture still stands in the church to this day. By expanding his empire and bringing this huge company to the Inland Empire, Cesario provided a lot of opportunities for people to get a job. So he brought many families to Riverside County, and he brought, a lot of people who still stay to this day. He was also the parade chairman and helped organize a lot of the festivals and parades and events that happened in Paris, California at that time. By doing this, he brought diversity to our area and he helped unify these cultures. As I grew up, I understand more who my grandparents were, and I understand the things they had to overcome, the hard work they put into every minute of every day, and the genuine love for each other. And it inspires me to do something half as great as that. To this day, I still get strangers that come to me, and once they find out I'm a grandkid of Cesario and Mary, they tell me a story of how they were helped by Cesario and Mary, or how they wouldn't be where they are today if it wasn't for Cesario and Mary. This gives me something to live up to. It really inspires me to be more than I could be, to open my home, open my heart, to give, to just to inspire and give my hand out to anyone who might need it. I can only hope that my life is as meaningful and as impactful as theirs was.